If it's still open, continue working on the project from the last lesson. Or, open a clean copy of Project 4C. The two most common types of edits you'll perform are insert and overwrite edits. They're so common, in fact, that Final Cut gives you no less than 4 different ways to do either of them. First, adjust the zoom, so the timeline contents take up only about 2/3 the width of the window. Then open the clip 360 view. Let's use a portion of the clip not already in the timeline. Use the down arrow key to get to the media end. Shift left arrow to go back 1 second, and mark an out. Shift left arrow twice to go back 2 seconds, and mark an in. So we now have 2 seconds of media to edit into our sequence. For the next few lessons, we're not so concerned with the visual content of the edits. We're just getting the hang of dropping these boxes into the sequence, so our attention will be on the shape of things in the timeline, not how they look in the canvas. The type of edits we've done so far are called drag-to-timeline edits, and you may have noticed when dragging onto a track that the mouse pointer fluctuates between a right-pointing arrow and a downward arrow, depending on whether you're above or below the fine gray line in the upper third of the track. Final Cut is giving you the choice between an insert edit, the right arrow with the clip outline, and an overwrite edit, the downward arrow with the clip filled. If you're not directly on top of another clip, and there's nothing to the right on the timeline, it really doesn't matter which one you use. Just line up the clip where you'd like it to land, and release the mouse. Let's hit Command Z to undo that edit. Now let's try placing this clip right in the middle of some pre-existing clips. The choice you have is this: push everything to the right to make room for it, or stomp whatever's below and overwrite. The mouse is still held down. Notice the 2-up display in the canvas, showing you the frames on either side of your edit as you position it. Let's place it against this edit point and try the insert edit first. Aim high for the right arrow and release the mouse. See how our timeline grew with the insert? Now hit Command Z to undo. And this time, drag to the same place, but aim low for the down arrow, and release. Nothing's budged at the end of our timeline. The outer clips are unaffected, and the out point of the front sweep clip hasn't changed, but its in point has been moved to accommodate the overwrite. Since we know what these edits look like, let's try a couple of different methods to get the same result. First, hit Command Z to undo. We're going to use the playhead position for our destination target, so make sure it's in the same place. Then, simply hit the yellow Insert button at the lower left of the canvas. Did you see the final clips jump right with the Insert edit? Hit the button again. Another Insert at the new playhead position. Now use the Insert Edit shortcut, F9. Every time we insert, everything ripples rightwards to make room. Now hit Command Z 3 times to undo. The sequence is back the way we started. Make sure the playhead is on the same edit point, and this time hit the red Overwrite button. Now hit it again. See how the overwritten clip grows smaller with each overwrite edit? Now use the Overwrite Edit shortcut, F10. Hit Command Z 3 times to undo. You can also insert and overwrite by dragging a clip to the canvas window. If you drag into the canvas and hold, the Edit overlay appears, and you can select which type of edit you want to perform. Drop it in the Insert section. Now let's drag to the canvas again, and this time, drop the clip in the Overwrite section. With inserts and overwrites, you can also apply a default transition between the clip you're placing and the one before it on the timeline by dragging into these boxes in the overlay or adding the Shift key to the function key shortcuts you just learned. We'll cover transitions later, and we'll cover the other options in the overlay in the next lesson. But for now, just remember that if you drop into the non-overlay part of the canvas, Final Cut defaults to an overwrite edit.